Sir,
Ah.
Manscaped.
Uh-huh.
Have you tried the new equipment that's been sent?
I'm afraid because it says weed whacker. I'm scared.
Maven, Manscaped. What are you thinking about
Love it.
Manscaped, dude?
Love it.
What do you use it for?
Necessity. What don't I use it for? Put it this way. The only hair I have on my entire body is these eyebrows.
Yeah.
That you see. These
Wow.
caterpillars racing to the middle of my nose. That's it.
That is it.
That's all I have. And that's all I want.
That's the
So
big-
Manscaped is a
You-
must.
We were talking before the show. There's nothing worse than just hair.
Yeah.
Right? Hair on a woman, hair on a man. It's just bad.
Absolutely. And it's the one thing that the older I get, it starts growing more in unwanted areas.
Absolutely.
I hate it.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
Just going to go out there.
Oh, boy.
Go for it.
You're doing a deed.
Yes.
Again, I don't want you to have to admit this because we, as men, we try not to admit this. But if you're going to
Oh,
go
I
do
know
the deed
where-
on a
I
woman,
know where
would you
he's
rather
going.
have her be hairless or a little hair, racing stripe, or
Racing stripe.
full retro bush?
Well,
Racing stripe.
Retro Bush is out.
Yes, thank you.
Retro Bush is out.
Yeah.
I don't mind a small, well manicured landing strip. Every now and then, if it's completely, and I'm talking like baby's ass bald, then I start. Where is that pedophilia line? I don't want to
Wow.
wander into that.
That's
thought
very
of it like
interesting.
that.
I never thought about that. You're a
Wow.
smart dude. Holy shit.
So if the landing strip is clean enough for the plane to go in smoothly, you're cool with that?
If the landing strip has, like I said, well manicured,
Yeah,
you can see both sides. It's not
Like blinking lights on both sides of that
I
landing?
just don't. I don't want. I don't want the shrubbery going off into unwanted areas on that as well.
Gotcha. Oh,
Yeah,
look
but-
what you found. Ooh.
I got to be all honest though. Hey, the older I get though, I don't think I can be as
I found it! I found
have
it!
you ever gone down there and she slowly brings down the underwear? Then
What is
retro? Just,
Absolutely.
You're like, whoa.
Wow,
Yeah, I'm
like
46,
it
of
pops
course.
out?
Do you like walk out or what do you do?
No, I muster through. I muster up the courage to get
He's
through.
a trooper. He's a trooper. Gotta give him an A.
Oh, not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah,
There you go.
I hear you.
There you
Listen,
go.
I couldn't
Super
say.
Bush.
I couldn't say. Well, if you have the same beliefs as Maven, does Manscaped could help you?
Absolutely.
The weed whacker.
Absolutely.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I may have to, go in a room, close the door, and hang out with the weed whacker for a little while.
Yeah, I think you're a retro guy, aren't you?
I like 70s adult films, if that's what you're getting at.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
But
only
with that,
Ron
we're going to take a
Jeremy,
quick
Batman.
commercial break, and we'll be
Anyway.
back with this wrestling icon, Maven.
We will see you in a drop kick second.
Drop kick. All right, so I was on Peacock the other day, and there's a documentary on Casey Anthony. I don't know if anybody remembers who Casey Anthony is. I hope everybody would. Name of the documentary, I believe, is Where the Truth Lies. So I'm watching this, and I don't know. I must not have paid much attention to it when it was actually going on. Of course, I knew about it, right? But I'm watching this documentary, and I'm thinking to myself, like, how does this girl, a woman, not go to jail? All right? It's, her kid disappears. She doesn't call the cops. They've got all these pictures of her out partying. And then finally, like a month later, she calls the cops and says she's been looking for her kid. She gets accused of murdering her child. She goes to jail for 3 years until she has trial. And then she's found not guilty, which is crazy. But here's the problem. I'm watching it, and it's a couple-part series, and I recommend it, and I'm not done watching it yet. But as I'm watching this documentary, I'm starting to get doubt that she killed her child. Is there something wrong with me here, or is it just that I'm apt to being spin doctored by good documentary writing and good production?
Well, she's from Orlando here, where I live. So, that was the talk, and there was a lot of inside talk probably coming out of Orlando that maybe didn't get further. But a lot of the fingers pointed to her father. Something, either there's an accident or something happened, something along the lines with her father involved. Of course, they brought in the brother, they brought in the mother, and everybody else.
Well, that's what they were they were doing this in a documentary. I guess there was some kind of sexual assault between her and her father. And then at some point, her father starts turning on her. And I had to turn it off because I'll watch it over the weekend. That's how exciting my life is. But there almost seems like, and this is a feeling I got, Randy, that her and her father were having some sort of sexual affair. And something went down and they were covering each other's tracks. That's what I got. Is that what you were hearing on your end?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. It's so hard to prove any of that. Some of the accusations. Was there sexual assault to Casey or not? Who knows? Was the father involved, and was it an accident, or did something happen that he was molesting his granddaughter, and she was going to tell her something happened, and he did it? Was the mother involved one way? I don't know, but again, nobody knows, and there was not enough solid proof. And I think that's why she got off not guilty finally.
Here's a question for you. The amazing thing to me is if she did kill her child, which I tend to think she was involved in some sort of way now. How does someone convince themselves, because there's definitely something going on here where in her mind she doesn't think she was involved in anything. It's either she's the greatest actress in the history of actresses, or how does someone build that, in their mind that this stuff didn't happen? And I start thinking about OJ and some of these things. You think that's a trait in all people, or do you think that just, and then people believe their own bullshit, and if they keep telling themselves these stories, that they believe it, and they live this lie their whole life until it becomes reality to them, or is this something special within certain psychos within society?
It's almost, I hate to use the term, but it's almost like a talent. I mean, these people have just something inside that they can convince themselves and they can convince other people. And, they believe everything that they say. They believe everything that they see. I think the family probably got their stories together and rehearsed it for a long time when the search was going on and everything else, probably around the clock. And I think they had the brother. I think he was involved as far as knowing what's going on. I think the mother kind of washed her hands of the whole deal, but she didn't know. I think the father was involved. And I'm not sure Casey was physically involved in it. I think she knew. I think she was part of the storyline with the father. I think it was covered up by all of them because they all had so much to lose if the truth did come out. Like I said, I just think it's inbred in somebody, just like wrestling. Some guys can cut a promo. Some guys, are afraid of the microphone. I think it's the same like this. Some people convince themselves and other people. Some people can cut a good life's promo, and some people can't.
Good point, Randy. I wasn't thinking about that. Damn, that's pretty good. I like it. And by the way, I am rocking the ESO merchandise. Go to www. I shouldn't say that. My wife says don't use that anymore. ESOcreative.com. Get your own Monte and the Pharaoh t-shirt. And again, you could also go to our YouTube merchandise page or the Monte and the Pharaoh.com page and get all sorts of merchandise. Randy, we got some upcoming shows on January 14th. We've got Enzo. And then on February 4th, we've got Chris Masters, who I think is going under the name Chris Adonis. And we are sponsoring, well, if Pharaoh was on, and I think that's why he acted like he was sick, is we're going to do a Master Lock challenge. And if Pharaoh can get out of it...
$500.
That's it. If Pharaoh can get out of it, he's been offered $500 from Chris Lee, and we're asking people to go to the Monte, PayPal, and donate, and all donations will go to St. Jude if Pharaoh could get out of the Master Lock. And if he can't, any donations will go to St. Jude. But what are the chances of Jimmy Pharaoh getting out of the master lock, Randy?
Slim and none, and Slim's out of town.
Could you imagine Pharaoh in the master lock? Ah!
I did a convention not too long ago, and I was right next to Chris,
Yeah,
and he's still, I mean, he's jacked,
he is jacked.
and he is just strong. Enzo is, man, he's hilarious. Enzo is so good, and he is wonderful with the kids.
Wow.
My wife was with me, and she said, "Wow, he took his time, went out to the kids, and wasn't rushed or nothing." I can't say enough about Enzo, and I don't, other than meeting him at the convention there, didn't know him personally, but was just very impressed by that. And standing next to Chris Masterson, he's got a shirt on, but still, the sleeves are tight as can be. It's like he's an extra large wearing a size small shirt.
Well, Pharaoh's kind of wiry, though. Maybe he could, right? Because what's that story that Bob Roop had that challenge that went on years ago in Florida, and some fan came in and actually got out of his move because he was, wiry like Jimmy. And he could just get, maybe, Masters is used to putting the master lock on the big show at John Cena. He might not, Pharaoh might have his number, man.
That's right. Well, he's out there on the indie circuit a little bit, doing stuff, and he's probably got some skinny little Randy Hogans out there that he's practicing on. So
They get ready
Jimmy's
for the
up for a
Pharaoh.
challenge. He's gonna have the Bengay for his neck, get some isopure and stuff.
Well, the
He's gonna
Pharaoh
need
has
it.
not officially committed to it, so he's been ill. He did bring it up to me on the phone, and I hung up on him. So we'll find out next week if he's going to come in. And also on March 11th, we've got Sinister Minister and Max the Impaler in studio. And let me not forget, after Chris Masters, we've got the Bad Girls Club on February 4th, Jada Chachili, and little eye candy for Monte. You know what I mean? We got to have that on the show every so often. All right. Important mentions, Randy. 2022 is coming to an end. I think we have to take a few minutes for us all to think about some of the wrestlers who have passed. So I'm going to name some names, and we'll ring the bell, and then we'll go to a commercial break. All right, Randy, and then we'll continue on with the show.
Absolutely.
Forgive me for saying the names wrong if I do. I'm terrible at it, but Katsuya Katamura, Raziel, Babe the Farmer's Daughter, Antonio Inoki, Starman, Candy Divine, Mickey J. Henson, Sarah Lee, Tim White, Mashi Ayagi, Jean LaBelle, Tarzan Gatto, Dave Hebner, Scott